Hello, virtual arts fans. I'm Christy Patti, Director of Operations for Virtual Arts, and today we're chatting with playwright and director Charles Messina. Hi, Charles. How are you? It's good to
Hey,
see you.
Christy, what's up?
So, Charles, you have two plays coming up in our play festival that are going to be premiering on Saturday, March 5th on Zoom. And they're called Nap and the Last Goddess. And I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit about them and maybe what your inspiration was for writing them. If you don't mind, let's start with Nap. What can you tell us about this one?
Nap was just, I wrote it as just a personal challenge to myself to try to do a 10-minute one act. Just
Yeah.
could I do it? Could I just do something that interested me in 10 minutes? And I find napping to be that's something that's becoming a regular part of my life. So um, my thought was, you just want to take 10 minutes out of your life just to take a nap, which is why it was a perfect premise, I thought, for a 10-minute play. And then to create this character who just that's all he wants. Simple motivation, 10 minutes away from the world, leave me alone, let me go in the back and take a nap. But the world doesn't always cooperate with us. And then one of the other interesting things I find about napping is that at the end of a nap, you almost always are disoriented and kind of wish you hadn't napped in the first place, because there's like that mild nausea and that disorientation and what time of day is it, and has the light changed, and what did I miss, and my generalized anxiety becomes even higher at the end of the nap. So that was the motivation for nap, I think.
That's perfectly said because I've definitely, as I get older, that is my experience with napping. They are
Yeah.
wonderful and yet horrible at the same time.
Yeah, the
Always.
world has changed when you're back after the nap. It's like I don't
Yeah,
feel
it's
refreshed, I don't feel better, and I don't know where I am or what time of day it is.
it's
So
like time
I don't.
traveling in the worst possible way.
Yeah, yeah. It's nothing good comes of it. So you know,
No. But it's an enjoyable look at napping, I think. I think.
yeah, it's cute.
Uh,
It's a
yeah,
cute little play. I thank you.
it's a fun one. And then the other piece, which is a bit heavier, is called The Last Goddess. And I'm just wondering, other than Frank Sinatra being kind of the patron saint of Italian Americans everywhere,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what made you want to write this one?
I think that I always found the relationship between Frank Sinatra and Ava Gardner to be an interesting one. But I think that what I wanted to do was try to write something period specific to
Hmm.
really play with the language. In
Hmm.
going back and reading it, because I hadn't read it in a long time, when you guys were kind enough to want to do it, I said, well, let me read it again. It's been a while. And I actually like it. I like the rhythm of it. I wanted to write something that was of the time in terms of the rhythm of the language. And I don't know, I think I halfway succeeded at that. And so that was interesting to me. And I did think that the relationship between the two of them, which, it's just loosely based on it,
Right.
but the tumultuous relationship between any two characters, I always think that every play is a two-hander, because at the end of the day, we want to see those two main characters, whoever they are, just sort of go at it. And I just kind of wanted to do a show where, a little one act where they just go at it, like a male and female
Yeah.
character who just go at it, and using the rhythms of that time period, that 1950s sort of hard-boiled language, but keeping it still feeling relatively real and authentic and honest. So yeah, it was more of an exercise for me than anything else, to be honest.
Yeah. I can't wait to see it in production, what it ends up looking like. We've got
Yeah, me
well,
too. Me too. I'm
a
excited about
nice,
that one.
wonderful virtual arts friend, Anthony Ogello, is going to be directing them. And
He's
we've
a good
got
man. Anthony's a good man. I've been through a lot of wars with
I
him.
have two,
Yeah,
very,
yeah,
very
yeah.
many.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Um, yeah, so it's going to be exciting to see. Now, normally you do direct a lot of your own stuff, but because you're a little bit busy this spring with a very exciting project coming up, um,
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to direct them this time because you're the playwright for the premiere production of The Wanderer coming up at Paper Mill Playhouse, which is also featuring virtual arts friend Johnny Tamaro. Very exciting for
Oh my
him and
God,
for
that's
you.
right, Johnny
And
Tamaro. Talk about wars. Talk about wars. That guy.
what can you tell us about The Wanderer?
Well, I'm very happy about The Wanderer. I'm very proud of The Wanderer. I'm also the co-lead producer of The Wanderer, so that's exciting. But yeah, listen, it's the story, the life story, true life story of Dion Finucci, who's better known from Dion and the Belmonts, and it's his life story and it's his music, and he's got a great, great story. It's a homegrown New York City story. It takes place in the Bronx of the 1950s, and it deals with ostensibly it deals with addiction and recovery. Dion was a um, a heroin addict who overcame his addiction to go on to have a Hall of Fame musical career. So, and having Dion work with us closely on it, and Little Steven, and some of the folks that we've assembled to work on this. Little Steven is our musical consultant, so that's exciting. And he's a good guy, and he's really a musical savant. He's so into the sound of the
Yeah,
time period.
he had that like radio show too, right? Like I've
Yeah,
listened
underground.
to it
Yeah,
for a while. Yeah, he's got some good stuff going
yeah.
on.
And
Yeah.
yeah, he's great, and he loves the time period. He knows the time period. He's just really a huge asset to us. And our entire cast, crew, and creative team are really top notch on this. And it's been a long time coming. I met Dion about a decade ago, and we started developing this. And then, of course, we were supposed to open this show in May of 2020, but as we all know, the world was not too accommodating to that. But
Yeah.
but we feel like maybe it's a little more accommodating now, and whether it is or isn't, we're going to go forward, and we're going to start controlling the world a little more rather than having it control us. And we think this show is, it's so much about recovery. It's so much about comeback. It's so much about New York.
Mm.
We really think it's a good time for it, both regionally and commercially. So, yeah, I mean, the headwinds are there. We know we're flying into a strong headwind because everybody in live theater is now, and we have a lot of friends whose shows aren't making it, or are trying to make it, or are waiting, and but we don't want to wait anymore, and we think the time is right, and so we're going to be bold about that, go forward with it. So I hope people will come and see it. I think they'll really enjoy it. I mean, the music alone and the catalog is worth the price of admission, and then with actors like Johnny Tamaro in it, I mean, how can you
How can you
refuse?
go wrong with the Johnny
He's
Tamaro?
great. Listen, he is fantastic in the show. If you want me to send a shout out to him right now, but he is so
Yeah.
great as Dion's dad, Dion's father, Pat DiMucci, who was a character himself, by all accounts. And Johnny nails it, and he's great. And Johnny Tamaro is the greatest actor who ever walked the face of the earth, and so people will finally get to see him
That's wonderful
on
because
stage every night.
I'm president of the Johnny Tamaro fan club, so
Yeah,
there
yeah. I
you go.
thought Johnny was the president of the Johnny
Oh,
Tamaro fan club.
well, we're co-presidents.
He
We
really is
split
great in the
duties.
show, though. We've been the
Yeah.
beneficiaries of good timing. We've been the beneficiaries of that. We didn't spend all our money and have the show open and close right before COVID struck,
Yeah.
or
Which
during,
which
or
happened to a lot of shows. So I mean in a way you're probably blessed that it didn't happen right before the
no,
COVID hit and that it
yeah,
got to be, I mean,
yeah.
nobody wants a show postponed, but um,
No, it was the right thing to do
it's
at the time.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and your whole organization, your whole company is a product of the last 2 years and a half, and creative people like you trying to discover a way to keep live theater, to keep entertainment alive. And I don't love these Zoom things. I don't love
I
them,
know.
but I do love the idea that people can still see other people doing their work and give you an opportunity to do your work. So, congratulations on all you guys are doing to keep that going. That's important.
Oh, thank you. I
Yeah.
really appreciate that.
Well, it really is. It really is.
Thanks. Thanks so much for chatting with me today, Charles. We're really excited to see your shows coming up on March 5th and all of the shows in the New Play Festival, which are going to be February 25th to March 6th on Zoom. You can find out more information by going to our website at www.virtualartsproductions.org. Thanks again, Charles, and stay safe, friends. Thank you.